Hi, I'm Maggie, and this is Music Theory for Piano Technicians, Part 16, the Harmonic series. In my last extra silly video, I gave some visuals that I think are going to help now. I made a few little mistakes, the biggest of which is I talked about the string being divided into fourths and fifths, which isn't incorrect, but I was afraid you'd get that mixed up with the intervals of fourths and fifths, and it doesn't quite work that way. So I will try in this video to talk about the string being divided into 4 and 5 and 6 parts. In my last video, I mentioned that the harmonic series is in every sound from a dog barking to a horn honking, and of course, in our piano. A string set in motion looks different on different instruments. I showed you the string bass, and in a two-dimensional world, it goes back and forth. But in a three-dimensional world, it does all kinds of crazy things. The easiest of which to see on the string bass, if you were to see it live, is it moves in kind of an oval shape. But it moves in many more complex ways than that. For the moment, though, let's talk about our fundamental pitch. And when you pluck a string in a two-dimensional world, it goes back and forth. So this line represents one side of the string movement, and this represents the other side of the string movement. If you were to look at a piano wire close up with a high-speed camera, it would be doing all kinds of crazy things, and it's not going to look like anything I'm showing you today, but I want you to understand these concepts because they work and they will help us as I talk about this more in future videos. So in this picture, we have what our string might look like moving as an oval in the real world, but we still have our non-motion string. We have the fundamental sounding by going back and forth, and we have our second partial, which is the first overtone. And as you noticed in the last video, I got that by dividing the string in half. Here's our halfway point. So this is half of the string here, and this is the other half of the string, and they're both vibrating. And the sound of half the string is one octave. So here we have the fundamental, and here we have one octave as the second partial. The third partial is going to divide the string into three parts. So we have 1, 2, 3, and the string, in theory, is going to move like this. If we were to divide the string just into those three partials and only let it move there, it might look something like that. And this much of the string sounds a fifth above the octave above the fundamental. So we have a fundamental note, an octave, and then the third partial sounds a fifth, where the string is divided into three parts. When the string is divided into four parts, we're going to look something like this. And this section, each section here, sounds a fourth above the last note, which was a fifth above the last note, which was an octave above the first note. So we have our fundamental, an octave, a fifth, and a fourth. And no matter where I touch the string, it's going to sound this pitch. Now notice I circled the middle. If I touch the middle, it's going to sound this, but we're going to hear this one much louder. So you'll just hear that octave. That fifth is there, but we mostly hear this one. Moving along, the next division, of course, is in 5 parts. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we divide the string into 5 parts, we are going to have our fundamental, an octave, a fifth, a fourth, and a major third. This pitch is a major third, pitch-wise. And so we have this much of the string sounding a major third. And in this theory, the string is actually moving with all these things sounding. All this is happening all at the same time. The only reason you don't hear these prominently is they're much quieter. Every time we go to a new division of the string, the harmonic gets quieter and they get closer together, which is going to be important in a little bit. If we divide the string into 6 parts, we have our fundamental, an octave, a fifth, a fourth, a major third, and a minor third. So this little smaller division is a minor third. Now we're getting closer and closer together, and eventually we're going to get so close that they don't fit on the keyboard anymore. And that's a very simplified way of saying that. I will explain more about that in another video. But for the moment, and I'll explain why you want to do this in another video, but for the moment, we want to memorize a certain number of partials. And the easiest way to do that is to memorize their scale degree. So if we look at just the first 10 partials, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you can easily count to 10. You don't have to memorize those numbers. You just have to memorize this. 1, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1, 2, and 3. You can go further if you want to. We won't need to in these videos for a very, very long time, if at all. But I would like you to know that as you move higher, they get closer and closer together until they're in between piano keys. So they're not exactly the pitches we describe here. These are very close to the pitches we're describing. And for right now, saying they're these pitches is going to work just fine. So this is what I want you to memorize. I want you to memorize 1, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1, 2, 3. Here is how you identify those pitches on a keyboard. So if we start on C, if C is our fundamental, that is 1. The next number is 1. We're going to move left to right. So moving left to right, our next 1 is a C. Now we went 1, 1, 5. The 5th scale degree in a C scale is G. So this is going to be our 5. That's the 5th scale degree in the key of C major. 1, 1, 5, 1 is going to be a C again. C is the 1st scale degree in the key of C. 1, 1, 5, 1, 3. The 3rd scale degree in C major is E. 1, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5. The 5th scale degree, again, is G. 1, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Now the 7th scale degree in C is a B, but we want a flat 7, so that's going to be this one. That is going to be B flat. Flat 7 is B flat. So that is our flat 7. 1, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3, that's supposed to be a 3. That's a really terrible looking 3. Is C, D, and E. C, D, and E is 1, 2, and 3. Those are scale degrees in the key of C. If that doesn't make sense, ask me and I will try to explain it differently. If I want to start on D, okay, we're going to go D, D, A, D, F sharp, A, C, D, E, whoops, that's supposed to be an E, and F sharp. How did I know this? Because it is 1, 1. These are scale degrees now. 5, 1, 3, 5. Flat 7. Now, in the key of D, the 7th scale degree is C sharp. So we flatten it by going down a half step and we get C. Flat 7, 1, 2, 3. The 3rd scale degree in the key of D is F sharp. This is the harmonic series starting from the note D. Let's start from E flat. Okay, and we're going to do 1, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, that's a 7, 1, 2, 3. The first scale degree in the key of E flat is E flat. And we only move left to right. That's how you know what order they're in. The second partial is going to be the next first scale degree. So the next first scale degree is the next E flat. The next partial is going to be the next fifth scale degree. The fifth scale degree in E flat is B flat. The next partial is going to be the first scale degree again, and we're only moving left to right. We're not backtracking. So the next one is here. So we have E flat again. The next partial is the third scale degree, which is a G. I'm going to come down here to save room. The next partial is the fifth scale degree again, so we have another B flat. The next partial is a flat 7. So what's the seventh scale degree in E flat? It's a D, but we want a flat 7. So we are going to use a D flat. Then we have the first scale degree, E flat. The second scale degree, F. That's an F. Oh, third scale degree, G. And that's the beginning of the harmonic series starting from E flat. Let's do one more for now. And what you should do for homework is to figure them all out in all the keys. I may go ahead and make a chart for that. Okay, let's do one with sharps. Let's start with E. We have E, E, B, E, G sharp, because we're in sharps now. And so we have, this is 1, 1, 5, 1, 3. Now what's next? Do you remember? It's the fifth scale degree. And we know that's B. Okay. Now we have our flat 7. Okay. What's the seventh scale degree in E? It's D sharp, but we don't want D sharp. We want a flat 7, so we're going to go to D. All right. Then we have 1, 2, and 3. So that is E. Oh, excuse me. F sharp. And G sharp. And that is the harmonic series starting from E. So I will make a chart of some of these, but the best thing you can possibly do is to memorize the scale degrees. 1, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, 1, 2, 3. And if you want to keep going, sharp 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 7, 1, we really just need to there. You can keep going if you want to. I had to memorize to 16, so I went ahead and wrote it down. And they keep going, but we don't need those right now. So first partial, first scale degree. Second partial is also the first scale degree. Third partial is the fifth scale degree. Fourth partial is the first scale degree. Fifth partial is the third scale degree. Sixth partial is the fifth scale degree. Seventh partial is the flat 7th scale degree. Eighth partial is the first scale degree. Ninth partial is the second scale degree. 10th partial is the third scale degree. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this in the next video, and then we'll start talking about how to use it.